1:15 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Catherine Pereira and read by Geethanjali Ramanayaka. The headlines. The President says that women's representation in the Parliament and other sectors should be increased. Education targeting on exams will be removed. Several education reforms within the next 8 years. President Ranil Wickremesinghe has congratulated the newly elected Malaysian Prime Minister. Plans will be made for the development of the tourism sector with the support of the state and the private sector. Foreign news, South African President faces threat of impeachment over Farmgate. News in detail. President Ranil Wickremesinghe says that women's representation in the Parliament and other sectors should be increased. All should pay attention on the problems of the women. Facilities needed for the orphanage children and for children with special needs should be improved. The social protection program should be expedited by providing some of the beneficiaries to the suitable persons. He also stated that all parties should conduct discussions regarding the establishment of private universities. Minister Susil Premajantha says that science and technical know-how are needed for the development of the economy. He also emphasized that education targeting on exams will be removed and educational reforms will be implemented during the next 7 to 8 years. Joining the debate, the minister stated that teacher transfers will be made through technology. Attention should be paid on the rights of teachers as well as the students. 26,000 teachers will be recruited and 60 billion rupees has been allocated to provide solutions for the salary anomalies of the teachers. There are 500 vacancies for principals. The vote on accounts of the Ministries of Education, Women's and Child Affairs and Social Empowerment was taken up for debate. Parliamentarian Rohini Kaviratne said that the education standards should be increased. She also stated that systematic machinery should be implemented to prevent the child abuse and speedy measures should be taken to safeguard the rights of women and children. Joining the debate, the opposition leader Sajith Premadasa says that support will be provided to safeguard the children and women's rights without party differences. The President's Media Division reported that President Ranil Wickremesinghe has congratulated the Malaysian Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim on his new appointment as the Prime Minister. The President, during a telephone conversation this morning, has also expressed his desire to further strengthen economic ties between Sri Lanka and Malaysia. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Director General of the Ministry of Lands, Suranga Vitanage, said that plans will be prepared for the development of the tourism sector with the support of the state and private sector next year. 80 million rupees has been allocated to the Ministry of Tourism and Land from the budget this year. Out of this number, 50 million rupees has been allocated for the development of the tourism promotion industry. Meanwhile, a special program will be implemented targeting the tourism industry. The objective of this move is to bring 1.5 million tourists next year. Minister Harin Fernando said that the objective of this move is to earn an income of 15 billion rupees from the tourism sector. Currently, more tourists from India and European countries have visited the island. Measures will also be taken to supply electricity continuously at the vicinity of the tourism zones. Litro Gas Lanka Limited, one of the primary suppliers of liquefied petroleum gas in the country, says more than 100,000 domestic gas cylinders will be released to the market from today. According to the company's chairman Mudita Piris, a limited number of LP gas cylinders were released to the market recently due to the delays in the arrival of shipments. However, the LP gas consignment ordered by the company are now arriving in the country. He mentioned further, assuring that the customers will be able to make the required purchases during the festive season without any shortages. Litrogas chairman stated that at least 100,000 domestic gas cylinders weighing 12.5 kilograms are expected to be released to the market today. And that ends local news for now.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
The health sector has pointed out that the HIV patients and the persons who have sexually transmitted disease are reluctant to obtain treatment due to ill treatment showed by the society when supplying treatment for them. The health sector pointed out that due to this reason, such patients have been discouraged and condemned by the society. Specialist Dr. Geethani Samaravira said that such infected patients should not be cornered. She stated that 42 clinics for them are being conducted and services are being provided freely. And that was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Watch Life is brought to you by
Celebrate Christmas and New Year with lots of CIB discounts. Valuable gifts with bank discounts till 31st of December. Come to CIB today.
In Watchlight, water supply will be suspended to several areas in Colombo from 10 p.m. tomorrow to 1 p.m. in the afternoon on the following day. Accordingly, the Water Supply and Drainage Board says that the water supply will be interrupted to Colombo 11, 12, 13, 14 and 15 due to the placing of a new transmission tube relevant to the development of the Abatale water purification plant. And that came to you in Watchlight.
Celebrate Christmas and New Year with lots of CIB discounts. Valuable gifts with bank discounts till 31st of December. Come to CIB today.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
We give you the strength to rise higher and higher.
Never step back, but always march forward.
Empowering you to reach greater heights. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
World News headlines. South African President faces threat of impeachment over Farmgate. Students killed as bomb blast hits Afghan school. Unrest continues in Guangzhou as lockdown anger grows. South African President Cyril Ramaphosa is facing a possible impeachment threat over the Farmgate scandal. The president has been accused of covering up a $4 million theft from his farm in 2020, including kidnapping and bribing the burglars into silence. A leaked report from the independent panel has found that Mr. Ramaphosa abused his position and may have broken an anti-corruption law. He has denied wrongdoing and said the money was from a selling of a buffalo. The panel's findings have been handed to Parliament, which is set to examine them and decide whether or not to launch impeachment proceedings next year. At least 17 people have been killed and 26 injured after a bomb blast hit a religious school in northern Afghanistan. The blast took place in the city of Aybak in Samangan province, reportedly as people were leaving for prayers. The majority of those killed are believed to be children aged 9 to 15, a source in Samangan told the BBC. No group has claimed responsibility for the attack, and the death toll could increase. A doctor at the local hospital said most of the victims are students at the school. People in the southern Chinese city of Guangzhou have clashed with police overnight in the latest protests against the country's strict COVID rules. Footage online showed police in white hazmat suits clutching riot shields to protect themselves from debris and glass thrown at them by protesters. Video showed people being taken away in handcuffs. Yesterday, officials said COVID restrictions would be relaxed in several districts. China has seen record numbers of new cases in recent days. According to posts on social media, the protest took place late on Tuesday and into the early hours of Wednesday in the district of Haizhou. Back to the headlines of the world news. South African president faces threat of impeachment over Farmgate. Students killed as bomb blast hits Afghan school. And unrest continues in Guangzhou as lockdown anger grows. That ends World News.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
Amidst all challenges, we will rally around you and advance.
In the face of hardships, let's stand strong together.
Empowering you to reach greater heights. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
On to development news. The online submission of applications for new passports will be allowed from next January. Immigration and Immigration Department's IT controller Champika Ramavikrama said. Speaking at a press conference presided by Immigration and Immigration Controller General Harsha Ilukpitiya at the Government Information Department yesterday. The IT officer said the applicants would be able to scan and upload the necessary documents and fill an online application to obtain new passports when the new system is implemented. And that was development news. And now moving on to sports news. Women's T20 cricket tournament organised by the Sri Lanka Cricket Institute will begin tomorrow. It will be conducted until the 11th of this month. The teams of Blues, Greens, Greys and Reds will compete at the Super 4 Women's Cricket Tournament. All matches will be played at the Bloomfield, BRC and Coles playgrounds. And that was sports news.
The fastest way to earn the highest interest. An interest rate of 22% in 4 months. NSB, the safest place for your money.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The administration of the Mount Lavinia Hotel says that the hotel will be reopened for tourists from tomorrow after a lapse of 2 years. Chairman and Managing Director of the hotel, Sanath Ukwatta, said that the hotel was maintained as a quarantine centre and a hospital for COVID patients during the last 2 years. As the first stage, 60 rooms will be given for tourists. And that was business news.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The fastest way to earn the highest interest. An interest rate of 22% in 4 months. NSB, the safest place for your money.
On to economic news. Lanka Technical Development Board has taken measures to provide training for three-wheeler drivers to begin industries as entrepreneurs. Opportunities will be made for drivers and to their families to follow courses at a 50% discount with the facilities given by the board. It has been requested to register at the offices of the board for the groups who are willing to follow these courses. More details can be obtained by dialing 1995. And that came to you on economic news. And now moving on to the weather report. The Met Department says that there is a high possibility for afternoon thunder showers over most parts of the island from the 2nd of December 2022. Showers or thunder showers will occur in northern and eastern provinces. Showers or thunder showers will occur elsewhere during the afternoon or night. Fairly heavy showers, about 75 millimeters, are likely at some places in the western, Sabaragamu and central provinces and the Galle and Mathura district. That was the weather report, and before we conclude this news broadcast, the headlines once again. The President says that women's representation in the Parliament and other sectors should be increased. Education targeting on exams will be removed. Several education reforms within the next 8 years. President Ranil Wickremesinghe has congratulated the newly elected Malaysian Prime Minister. Plans will be made for the development of the tourism sector with the support of the state and the private sector. Foreign news, South African President faces threat of impeachment over Farmgate. And with that, we end this news broadcast from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.